It's about time we realized that we need to have an understanding, a knowledge of science. It's possible and it's urgent. You know, unfortunately, many of us today feel as though we've elected people who know about science and can make those decisions for us. That's not so. As the director of a science museum, I think I serve somewhat as a science ambassador, trying to help people understand that science is fun, science is reachable, and science is for everyone. What's in our water? What's in our air? And why, as a suburban Long Islander, is there a coyote walking across my front lawn? Why are there great whites in waters where there never were? These are important questions. There are other questions. 7 out of 10 open jobs in the United States today are science and tech related. What are we going to do to engage our young people in science? You know, I'm sounding a little bit melodramatic, but I think we're really in trouble if we don't. Let me tell you why it's not happening. First and foremost, think back to your science experience in school. Most of us think science is unreachable, unlearnable, and really boring. Not always the case, but a lot of us feel this way. Unfortunately, Bayer, the people that make aspirin, did a study of 15,000 students. And what was the subject elementary kids liked the best? Science. What is the subject that elementary teachers dislike teaching the most? Science. The second reason, unfortunately, are our parents. My parents said to me, science? Why would you want to do science? Girls don't do science. Even today, I find parents who come to the Science Museum give permission for their kids to not like science. That's okay, Rodney. I didn't like science either. We don't say that about reading. Another reason is that we think that being a scientist is nerdy. With me, that might be the case, but I hope that's not the case with everybody. But if that's the impression of scientists, who wants to be viewed as nerdy? So there are lots of reasons why. But I think we need to reach beyond those and look at the world around us and why we need to learn science and why it's not that hard. After all, underserved kids have a real disadvantage. Only 47% of middle school science teachers are certified. So a lot of kids are learning science out of a textbook. That's not motivational. That's not going to make more kids as scientists. My hope is that we reach further and that we begin to explore science as a nation, as a community. I am hoping that we begin to look at science as something attainable. I'm not sure that we will, but I think as we move forward, how do we learn more about science? Where do we go? How do we go to science museums, and how do we approach science as something reachable and not those smart people over there that are book learned, but something for all of us? What are the opportunities for us? These are things we need to explore, just like we need to explore, and I hate to get a little bit negative, but what are we doing about all the plastic in our lives? You know, when you go to Europe and you get takeout food, it's in cardboard, and the forks are made of wood. But over here, we use plastic. What happens when you heat up plastic? Did you ever think about the boiling water going through your Keurig cup? Is that something that we should know about? What's going on? How about the fact that 30 years ago, 1 in 10 people got cancer? Now it's 1 in 6. In 30 years, the rate has changed. It is outpacing the rate in which we're finding cures for the cancers themselves. This year, 2024, 860,000 people will die of cancer in the United States. We can do better than this. And I don't want to come at you with the negative attitude that all this bad is going on in the world. You know, as scientists, we're to blame also. We make science seem nerdy. We use words that no one understands. It's like we belong to a private club that nobody belongs to but scientists. So when people view science, they view it as something, well, remember COVID, everyone? How can we forget? Scientists were made fun of because every week the information would change, and people who didn't understand it would say, wait a minute, but last week you said we should do this week you said we should do that. We don't do a good job communicating at all about science. Here's another interesting thing. I guess it's interesting. Every hour, another living thing becomes extinct off the planet. More living things have become extinct since the year 1900 than in the whole history of the Earth beforehand, including the time of the dinosaurs. So we have to look at science as something attainable. And as scientists, we have to do a better job communicating so that as we discover things, we reach everyone. That might make you like science better. After all, who knew that dinosaurs had feathers? So we learn about science every day. And we need to really learn to love science so that we can help ourselves learn about what we should be doing. And I feel good about that. I feel good that we can do this. I feel good that maybe, just maybe, all those movies we like to watch about the natural disasters and the germs that are coming to kill us from another planet won't really happen. At this rate, I'm not so sure. Thank you.